back today with the Maverick, as you can see, and obviously, as the title suggests, this is going to be a how to replace your speakers. Just the front speakers on this video. We're not going to do the back quite yet. We're going to kind of go down the list as far as improving the sound. We're going to start with the fronts, and if it's not what I want it to be, then we will do the back. Add an amplifier, etc., etc. But we're going to start with just the speakers first. Long story short, I really don't like to do this type of stuff, especially modifying stock sound systems. A lot of them sound good if you play with the settings, but not in this case. The Maverick, you just cannot find a good medium with this system. The bass system is not good. And so that's why I'm replacing the front speakers first. They distort pretty easily. Anything over like kind of 20, 22, they distort, and that is loud. But even for like a Ford basic audio system, Ford can make a great basic audio system, but in the case of the Maverick, it's really not that good. So, like I said, we're going to go ahead and replace the front two speakers. We're going to take the door panels off. I'm going to show you how to get the front door panels off. It looks pretty easy from what I can tell. I haven't really taken them off yet, but I've kind of looked at what we need to take it off. It looks pretty simple, straightforward. I'll kind of update you as we go. But yeah, this is going to be a speaker replacement. Let's go ahead and look at what we got for it. All right, so what we have here is obviously the box of speakers. We're going to open it up. And I actually went on Crutchfield.com, obviously. One of the best places to buy aftermarket audio equipment. Customer service is top notch. Their website's super easy to use. So with all that being said, as the time of this video, there is no Maverick on the website. So what I did was I kind of took a gamble, so we're going to find out here whether this does work or not. So I actually ordered Bronco Sport speakers, the bass audio Bronco Sport speakers, which appear to be, I believe, 6.5 inch speakers. So there's the adapter plates we may need. Obviously the Bronco Sport needs those. And then just all your support manual stuff. But the speakers that we picked out for this truck, or the Maverick rather, these are Hertz Audio. So they were about $100. They weren't the cheapest option out there. They were more than the Kickers and I think some Infinities. So they're kind of a mid-level, I would say, but I'm sure some audio snobs are going to say these are garbage one way or another. But they looked to be more of an upgrade over the stock audio. And that's what Crutchfield said as well. They're not in a direct replacement. They're more of an upgrade. So let's go ahead and cut these open and see what they're all about. Now, I actually did get an open box to save about $10. So these aren't exactly, they're taped up from the guys at Crutchfield actually. So I always buy open box from Crutchfield because they do a great job, and I've never had an issue with an open box product, and you generally save some money. And again, their return policies are pretty much the same on a return as such. So let's go ahead and crack these open. As I said, they're a little kind of sealed up pretty decent, but I don't want to totally damage the box here in case they don't fit. I'm taking a gamble here on these, hoping they work. I don't see why they wouldn't. I can't see Ford making a smaller speaker. It would help if I had a knife that wasn't dull, but okay, so let's pull these out here. And they actually come with tweeters, it looks like, as well. And we may dive into that. As you can see, we have some tweeters right here. So if I can find a way to mount those up, I will definitely add that to the video. But I'm not as concerned about those right now. So yeah, here's our speakers. See, there they are. So let's go ahead and go over to the door panel, check it out, see what we all have to do to get it done. All right, so once we are over to our door panel, we're going to go ahead and start going around the edge here and see what you need. There are going to be two 7mm bolts down here at the bottom. Well, there's one right there. As you can see, those are both 7mm. And there's a little cover right here you need to pop off, like a small flathead, but I already kind of took it off. But the cover behind here, you see it just slides out like that. There's some little clips holding that in, super easy. That is going to be an 8mm. I don't know why they used 7s and an 8, but that's an 8mm right there. And then this cover right here, this pops off as well. It probably will come off in certain applications as one piece, but I just removed it right here just for the ease of the removal. So looking at it right there, that's what we do need to remove the door panel itself. So let's go ahead and try to get it off. All right, so if everything goes as planned, these 3 bolts will, we need to get it off. So. Right. So I'm just going to go up here and try to pull it. Oh, this is so scary doing this. I'm so afraid of breaking clips. We may have something back here we have to also remove. All right, so I'm gonna come back here and see if these need to come off to maybe replace this cover. Maybe there's some bolts back here. The right particular tool, but we are using a T15 star bit right here to remove these Allen heads off. So it works. I wouldn't recommend it. But if you're doing it one time, I guess like this, it's probably not a big deal. So, but that's what I have. I don't have, these are actually really small. But so yeah, they kind of stick in there a little bit. And I guess we will now see, right after removing these bolts, what kind of lies behind it. So we're going to go ahead and actually disregard what I said about removing these bolts. It did seem kind of odd that I had to do that. And so I was trying to take a screwdriver and try to pry this front cover off, which I guess I kind of did have to. It made it easier to get this window switch out because I was able to stick the screwdriver actually with this out to pry this up, which actually I'm really glad, because if I would have pushed much harder, this probably would have broke. And I'm sure all this stuff's on back order at this point. So we're going to go ahead and basically rip this top cover off, and there's going to be 2 more bolts under there. So I'm going to go ahead and set you up, and those are going to be the kind of the sticklers that we needed to get off on here. So all in all, total of 5 bolts to get a door panel off. I've seen a lot worse. So we're going to go ahead and take our 7mm and take these 2 bolts off here. There we go. That's exactly what we wanted. I knew there would be some bolts a little trickier in all this. But kind of the issue, actually it falls right off like that, but the issue with these newer cars, especially this, there's no how-tos on this. This is kind of me going in the dark here, but I've done it enough times to kind of know what to look for. And as you can see, we're going to have our door panel. It's going to kind of fall down like this. Be very gentle with it. I'm going to leave it all plugged in for the sake of ease for me, especially when these door handles over here come undone. They're just a pain to put back together. But I'll come show you what we do see now. So ripping off the door panel, here's everything. We didn't break any clips, which is great news. I always break clips. So, but looking behind here, this is everything. You can see the regulator and all that stuff. And really, some plastic. I thought this was just going to be exposed metal, but yeah, so I guess when your regulator goes bad, that's super easy to fix the track and all that good stuff. But I did buy some sound deadener as well. I'm probably going to save for my other Maverick, but like I said, looking at the door panel, this is for the speaker here. There's your speaker down there. And those are probably going to be 6mm holding that in, but I'll go ahead and show you a better view of the speaker once we get it all undone. But looking at it, it kind of sits right in that pocket right there. We do have some foam insulation. And no grill or anything over the speaker. It's just a paper speaker. So let's go ahead and pull it off here. All right, so here's a better view of the speaker. We kind of unplugged a few of the clips here, but looking at it, this appears to be about a 6.5-inch speaker. So yeah, there it is. It's a nice paper speaker. So the bolts that are holding this on, there's going to be 1, 2, and 3. There's 3 7mm holding this on. Yeah, we may have broken a clip. I heard something drop. So there's that. Obviously, we're going to go up top here and unplug this. Should have done that before I took those out. So we do have the speakers now side by side. Obviously, this one is in its mounting bracket, and we have to kind of put these in these as well. But this is probably the lightest car speaker I have ever felt. They are 25-watt speakers, of course, but very, very light and cheap feeling. So obviously, it's a $20,000 car. What do you expect? But that magnet, that makes a lot of sense as to why these did not sound very good at all. I mean, these are like computer speakers. This is a lot more substantial. You can see the bigger magnet back there. I definitely think we're gonna wake them up a little bit. I mean, I can already tell it's gonna be a lot better. So we're gonna go ahead and get these set up here on their rings. And when you buy from Crutchfield, they also give you the plug and play harnesses as well. So that's really nice. It's just a plug and play and simple installation. So yeah, let's go ahead and slap them in there. All right, here, so what we did was some customization. I didn't show it on video just because I'm learning as I go. And it's taking me just a little bit longer than it normally would if I were to do this, obviously, beforehand. So looking at it, we do have a completed speaker assembly right here. Before we get to this point, these brackets, they have these little nubs in here. We're gonna go ahead and trim these off. As you can see on the other one, they're kind of here. I trimmed these off so it's nice and round. So this will actually fit inside. As you can see there, it fits perfect, nice and flat. We're gonna go ahead and then take some screws or whatever you have to attach these to this plate. I used 4, obviously, to minimize the chance of any type of vibrations. So I went ahead and put 4 of these screws down in here. So it fits really nice, it doesn't move around. So that's kind of our completed setup. And again, we do have our plug and play harnesses for the radio. So far, a Bronco Sport setup is pretty much the same as the Maverick, as I thought. So let's go ahead and get these put in. All right, so now that we have our completed speaker set up right here, let's go ahead and attach some of the speakers, obviously. Negative and positives, we'll hook those up. And usually the negative will be smaller than the positive, which this is the case. So there's no messing up when you go to install them. All right, so now that we have our completed setup right here, we're gonna go ahead and find our speaker wire, which is actually down here. No more running wires through the hole, it's actually on the outside. So we'll go ahead and plug it in like that. Next we'll have to kind of run these wires outside here. So I guess however you can finagle them to fit. So let's go ahead and put these back on. Pretty cool because these actually line right up with the holes in the door, so there's kind of no way to do it wrong. All right, we got it all plugged in. Let's see what it does. All right, perfect. So they work. Everything worked. So we're gonna go ahead and slap these back on, and that's gonna be the summary and pretty much the end of this speaker removal and installation. So let's go ahead and slap it back on. All right, so guys, we are back a few days later with the truck, and the Maverick speaker, kind of an update to the end of the video here, but I wanted to kind of wait a few days to live with the 2 front speakers that we upgraded, as you saw, just to kind of let you know, is it worth it or not. I definitely think they were worth it. They sound quite a bit better, especially at the top end. They don't distort like the other ones did. You have to play with the, the settings, the equalizer and all that, but for the most part, very well worth the upgrade. So for about $100 or so, you can get some nice speakers for your front doors and even the tweeters, as you saw. I'm going to go ahead and make a separate tweeter installation video because that's more in depth. So I think those kind of deserve their own separate video. There's going to probably be some soldering and stuff for that. But end of the video here, summary. If you are not liking your basic sound system, do what I did. Start from there. That's where most of your sound comes out of. I don't even know what size the back speakers are. That might be a separate video in its own. But right now I'm very satisfied with what we did here. So yeah, take it as you will. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it was helpful. So as usual, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to y'all later.